Rashee Rice, Chiefs receiver, pleaded guilty to 2 felonies for a street racing incident. People were injured. People could have been killed. The disciplinary hearing for Rashee Rice is going to happen on September 30. Why would they leak this? This means that Rashee Rice will play Week 1, Week 2, Week 3, Week 4, and Week 5.
In 2023, Rashee Rice was living every football player's dream. The Kansas City Chiefs' second-round pick had just completed a historic rookie season that shattered franchise records and helped deliver another Super Bowl. At just 23 years old, Rice had become Patrick Mahomes' most reliable target, setting an NFL record with 26 playoff receptions as a rookie, while maintaining an otherworldly 81% catch rate, the highest for any rookie with 70-plus targets since 1992. After Rashee Rice had a 130-yard playoff explosion against the Miami Dolphins, Andy Reid would say that it's hard to believe that he's a rookie. The young receiver had just broken Jamar Chase's NFL rookie playoff reception record and was being dubbed the next great Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. With 79 receptions for 938 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns in his debut season, Rice had exceeded all expectations for a player that many scouts were doubting due to his separation speed when he was coming out of SMU. But on March 30th, 2024, at approximately 6:20 on Dallas's North Central Expressway, everything changed. In 4.5 seconds captured on dashcam footage, Rice's Lamborghini Urus reached 119 miles per hour, nearly 50 miles per hour over the speed limit, before a catastrophic multi-vehicle collision that would injure 8 people, including 2 children at the age of 3 and 4, and trigger what the NFL is calling an unprecedented disciplinary response. And this incident could without a doubt ruin Rashee Rice's career, because it's clear that the NFL is out for blood. NFL season's around the corner, and Dak Prescott just needs 1 passing yard in order for his square to hit. Guys, you can sign up with my promo code Mikerophone to get a free $50 in lineups when you play $5 or more on Prize Picks. Once you get that, use $25 on this lineup here to make $131. I've already been making picks so I can snipe the best lines early on. And in this case, I'm pairing Dak Prescott to get 1 passing yard, which is a free square, with Kyren Williams getting a touchdown at any point and Justin Jefferson scoring a touchdown versus the Chicago Bears. On top of that, if you want more plays, I've created an incredible Discord community of experts in the WAP linked in the description down below. And thank you, Prize Picks, for today's sponsor. When the Kansas City Chiefs selected Rice with the 55th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the scouting reports were mixed. Coming from SMU, where he led FBS with 112.9 receiving yards per game as a senior, Rice was viewed as a high-end number 2 or a low-end number 1 receiver with questions about his play speed. But those doubts evaporated quickly. Rice's rookie campaign was nothing short of spectacular. He had 79 receptions, which was a Chiefs rookie franchise record. He had 938 receiving yards, which was the second most by a Chiefs rookie since Dwayne Bowe. He had 7 touchdowns, which was also a Chiefs rookie receiving record. He had an 81% catch rate, which was the highest for any rookie with 70-plus targets since 1992. And he had 107 targets with a 25.9% target share from week 12 and onward. And this was just the regular season. In the playoffs, Rashee Rice was another animal, breaking the NFL rookie record with 26 receptions, getting 262 yards over 4 playoff games, 130 of those yards in a wild card versus Miami, which was the most by a Chiefs rookie in a playoff game, and had 6 receptions for 39 receiving yards in the Super Bowl. The chemistry with Patrick Mahomes developed rapidly. After the Miami wild card game, Patrick Mahomes said this: "He's doing great. He's getting better and better every single week. Some of those guys hit that rookie wall, and it seemed like Rashee just pushed right through it." Rice transformed from a raw prospect into Patrick Mahomes' security blanket, running 78% of his routes from the slot, despite just playing 17% there at SMU. His Week 12 performance against the Las Vegas Raiders saw him gain 107 receiving yards off of 8 receptions and also tallied on a touchdown. And this marked the first time a Chiefs receiver, not named Travis Kelce, had reached 100 yards since Week 7 of 2022. Andy Reid's assessment was prophetic, saying saying, well, we were hoping that he was as good as what we saw at SMU, and I tell you, the best part about him is he just keeps working. He's relentless with that. He's getting better each and every week. But on March 30th, 2024, Rashee Rice would be in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. The dashcam footage from Bill Neighbors tells the story. At 6:20 on Dallas's North Central Expressway, two luxury sports cars, Rice's rented 2020 Lamborghini Urus and Theodore Knox's Chevrolet Corvette, which was also leased in Rice's name, were weaving through rush hour traffic at speeds exceeding 115 miles per hour. Knox's Corvette would clock in at 116 miles per hour, and Rice's Lamborghini would hit 119 miles per hour. Knox would attempt to merge into the shoulder where Rice is traveling, and Knox's Corvette would then strike Rice's Lamborghini. Rice's vehicle hits center median and then begins rotating counterclockwise. 6 vehicles would be involved, including Kayla Quinn's Hyundai Accent with her 4-year-old son. Kayla Quinn is a 27-year-old single mother returning from the Fort Worth Zoo with her young son, and she became the incident's most vocal victim, saying, "No one stopped. We had children, like we had kids." Do you know what I'm saying? It's the fact that there was no sympathy shown to where y'all can even have the decency to stop and check to make sure someone's okay and someone's alive. The damage was extensive. 8 people were injured, including 2 children ages 3 and 4. Edward Pedrovsky and Irina Grimova had brain trauma and facial lacerations which required stitches. They also had internal bleeding. One victim had serious bodily injury resulting in a life of limited mobility and sight for an undetermined extended period. 6 vehicles were totaled or severely damaged, and what happened next transformed a tragic incident into a criminal case. Rice, Knox, and all the passengers from both luxury vehicles fled the scene on foot, walking up an exit ramp towards a nearby train station. They left behind white cleats, 10.8 grams of the devil's lettuce, credit cards, a $16,500 check, a diamond chain, and a Kansas City Chiefs playbook. Victims remained stranded for approximately 5 hours until 11:30 p.m., with no assistance from those who caused the crash. So now that you guys know the incident, you can understand why the NFL is so harsh on this. The NFL's initial proposal shocked even seasoned observers, a double-digit game suspension that would sideline Rice for over half the season. They wanted to give Rashee Rice the full Deshaun Watson treatment. According to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, this 10-plus game suspension represented unprecedented territory for vehicular incidents. The NFLPA argued that there is no precedent for suspending someone for over half the season in a case like this. And if you compare this to other players in similar situations, you have Josh Brent in 2014, who got suspended for 10 games for intoxication manslaughter, which resulted in a teammate's death. You had Aldrick Rosas in 2020, who got suspended for 4 games for a hit and run. You got Brandon Eccles, who got 1 game for vehicular assault. And then you have Henry Ruggs III, who ruined multiple lives, including his own and the family of Tina Tinters, who got imprisoned for a fatal DUI and is out of the league. At the 2024 NFL Draft, Roger Goodell outlined the league's approach, saying, "Well, first, we allow the legal process to move through. We obviously are following it closely, and as soon as they're done with the process, we will be engaged and prepared to look at that under all of our personal conduct policies." According to the NFL, the goal is to deter the behavior. In other circumstances, the same behavior could get someone killed. And to be honest, they have a very reasonable point here. Rice's actions violated multiple aspects of the NFL's personal conduct policy, which is 1, conduct posing genuine danger to the safety and well-being of another person, 2, criminal behavior resulting in injury to others, 3, actions detrimental to the integrity of the NFL, and the aggravating factors in his case is the speed of 119 miles per hour, which is nearly 50 over the limit, fleeing the scene, multiple injuries including children, and felony convictions. April 3rd, 2024, Rice broke his silence with an Instagram statement, saying, "Today I met with Dallas PD investigators regarding Saturday's accident. I take full responsibility for my part in this matter and will continue to cooperate with the necessary authorities. I sincerely apologize to everyone impacted in Saturday's accident." His attorney and Texas Senator Royce West guided a strategic legal approach that ultimately resulted in a plea deal on July 17, 2025, where Rice would plead guilty to 3 third-degree felonies reduced from 8 original charges, 5 years of deferred probation, and dismissal is possible if completed successfully, 30 days of jail time served sporadically during the probation, and $115,481 in restitution to victims for medical expenses. At sentencing, Rice offered his most comprehensive apology, saying, "Last March, I was involved in a high-speed accident in Dallas. There have been a lot of sleepless nights thinking about the damages that my actions have caused, and I will continue working within my means to make sure that everyone impacted will be made whole. I urge everyone to mind the speed limit, drive safe, and drive smart. Last and certainly not least, I'm profoundly sorry for the physical damages to person and property." And it's just kind of crazy because Andy Reid would comment on this in training camp. In regards to Rashee Rice, he would say on the field, he's just been full speed ahead, no pun intended, which is an absolutely insane thing to say given the circumstances. But the organization maintained a delicate balance between supporting Rashee Rice and acknowledging the severity of his actions. Reid added that he's done a nice job off the field, he's doing a nice job on the field, you learn from your mistakes, and that's the important part. The original charges that Rice faced were 1 count of aggravated assault, which is 2 to 20 years in prison, 1 count of collision involving serious bodily injury, which is 2 to 10 years in prison, 6 counts of collision involving injury, up to 5 years each. When you compare this to other suspensions, where would you rank Rashee Rice? Because the NFL wants to give him a 10-game suspension, which would cost Rashee Rice $800,000 in lost wages, because each game of suspension costs Rice approximately $79,000 from his $1.34 million base salary. So we have to go to the most recent significant suspension, Deshaun Watson, who faced 24 plus allegations of sexual misconduct, ultimately receiving an 11-game suspension and $5 million fine after the NFL appealed an initial 6-game ruling. The case established the new disciplinary process under the 2020 CBA, with jointly appointed disciplinary officers like Sue L. Robinson, who is the same judge who will hear Rice's case on September 30th, 2025. Then there's Josh Gordon, who got suspended due to substance abuse violations. In 2013, it was a 2-game suspension. In 2014, it was a 10-game suspension. In 2015 and 16, it was 2 full seasons. Josh Gordon lost an estimated $50+ million because of this and is currently out of the NFL. Then there's Ray Rice's domestic violence case. An initial 2-game suspension became indefinite after video evidence emerged. The incident led to the current 6-game baseline for personal conduct violations and demonstrated how video evidence dramatically impacts punishment severity. What about Kareem Hunt? When a video emerged of his 2018 hotel incident, the Chiefs released him immediately for lying about his involvement. Hunt received an 8-game suspension and signed with Cleveland, and ironically, he signed with Kansas City in 2024, which was a bit of a redemption for him. The worst case scenario is Henry Ruggs III, a 156-mile-per-hour DUI crash that ended the life of Tina Tinter and her dog, which represents the nightmare scenario. He's currently been in prison for the past 4 years, and Ruggs' case shows what Rice's incident could have been. A sobering reminder that speed could end lives. So let's talk about how this affects the Chiefs on the field. Rice is going to be available for the first 4 games of the season because his arbitration meeting is on September 30th, which means he's going to be available against the LA Chargers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants, and the Baltimore Ravens. The expected suspension is weeks 5 to 10 or longer, and the Chiefs are trying to groom Jalen Royals as a potential replacement. But there's no question about it that Rice's career arc has been dramatically altered. Bear in mind that he was injured in 2024 and he's suspended in 2025. The numbers aren't going to look nearly as good when he wants to get a second contract, and he has significantly crippled his leverage for a second contract. On top of this, he's going to miss crucial time for his development because he's in his age 24 season, and this is the age that wide receivers typically develop the most. Rice is supposed to be entering his prime right now. In terms of finances, there's no question about it that he's lost endorsement opportunities as a result of this, and he's not going to get nearly as large of a contract in the future. So what happens next? On September 30th, Sue L. Robinson's going to conduct a disciplinary hearing, and what's most likely to happen is a 4 to 6 game suspension starting in the middle of the season. Rice plays in the first 4 games of the season, and then he returns for a playoff push. I like to say there's a small chance that he gets 3 to 4 games, but I think the least likely scenario is a 10+ game suspension here. So let me know in the comment section down below how you think this could affect Rashee Rice. Do you think he ruined his life by making this decision? How much do you think he should be punished as a result of his actions? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.